tits, bitch.
Hello, fiends and fiendettes. Welcome to episode 73 of the best horror podcast on 7voltmedia.com and the world, Scream Fiends. I'm your host, Xander, and with me once again is Russ.
Hey.
I almost said Alex. That's not my name anymore.
Not anymore. It's Xander.
If you're just joining us for the first time on this show, we talk about all the things going on in the world of horror. And if you're a long-time listener, you know we oftentimes don't follow by any sort of guidelines, rules, or whatever. We just do what we do, and we do it well. Very well.
We're super good.
Get at us on Twitter at Scream Fiends. Let us know what you're watching, what we should watch. We are always looking for something new, and we always want to hear what you guys think of the movies we watch each week.
It's true.
I mean,
tell us.
Yeah. Patreon.com/ScreamFiends. You can donate to this lovely program if you would like, but you do not have to. Our content is always free of charge and there for your viewing, listening pleasure.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations. You've won the YouTube Scream Fiends Award.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, iTunes, Google Play, you can get our audio format podcast through there. Subscribe on YouTubes. On the YouTubes.
Yep. Yeah.
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 All right.
Anything else? I feel like that went way fast.
Yeah, you did that way too well this time. You need to
I
do
know.
something. You got to fuck that up.
Well, I did almost call myself Alex, so that's close enough, I guess.
Maybe it like caused you to concentrate really good.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the power of the
so if you
Xander.
just fuck up right away, then
Yeah.
won't fuck up in the middle of that.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I've been out in the wilderness for the past 5 days. Out at the Grand Canyon. Road tripping.
Was it scary?
It was massive. Like, have you've never been there?
No.
It is unbelievable. Like, looking at pictures of it does not even come anywhere near it. Because it is just like, from wherever you see, it's this massive just canyon. Well, it's
pretty grand.
It's pretty grand. Yeah.
No, the furthest south I've been is Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty far away.
Hey.
I remember coming back, we didn't go through Rochester, but Rochester is roughly like an hour and a half away from where I live. And, yeah, that last stretch was just like, oh, this is almost over. It was like 20 some odd hour drive there and back.
So did you drive like straight there?
No, we stopped in Colorado on the way there, and then I want to say we stopped in Nebraska. No, we didn't go through Nebraska on the way back. Utah, Iowa.
Ooh.
No, Kansas.
Kansas.
We stopped in Kansas on the way back, and one of my friends thinks he got some kind of weird bug bite from the hotel we stayed at.
Like a bed bug?
Something like that, but it wasn't not a bed bug, something else. I don't know.
Gross.
Something weird, he thinks. I don't know.
So he got like necrotic damage and like it was like a brown recluse
Maybe.
or something.
I don't know. Yeah, there was a sketchy hotel, but whatever.
Could have just.
So I'm just like, I got back last night, and so I'm still like, part of me is still moving, and I'm still adjusting, but whatever. Anyways, let's start how we always sometimes start. Russ, what have you been watching, playing, etc., etc., etc.?
I watched The Editor again with my brother.
Great Astron 6
One of the best.
joint.
One of the best they've done.
Mm.
If not the best. These damn wooden fingers.
Seriously, I would say it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
I would go that far, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything everybody's ever done with the movie, Astron 6 has done better and made fun of you at the same time.
Yeah, like seriously, like I wish it kind of seems like they may be done. I don't know. I mean,
I honestly don't follow anything they do. I just hope I hear something. I don't want. I think I'm scared that they're done doing stuff.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I don't want to know. I just want to just like wake up one day and be like, oh, Astron 6 released a new movie. Guess what I'm gonna go do today? I'm gonna go get it.
yeah, I mean the closest thing we had was what was The Void? That I mean, and
that
that's
was awesome.
That
That was like a serious movie.
It was awesome, but it wasn't an Astron 6.
no, like it's
movie
Astron 6.
at all.
You know, like I would consider those like spoof or parodies or. But like, God, parody's not even good though either because
It's like no, I wouldn't even say parody. I would say they take a genre and they go as extreme within that genre as possible.
with some jokes
Yeah.
and there was some kind of like little humor to it at the same time. But I agree, it's like they're not a cover band, they're a tribute band.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not just some dudes covering movies. They are making tributes to movies.
Right. Well, I guess what I meant by them taking a genre and pushing it to this extreme is like they take a genre and they have all the tropes of it, but then they just keep on going and just take it to a whole nother level. It's unbelievable. If you've never seen an Astron 6 movie,
See one.
do yourself a favor. Yeah, any of their movies are good.
Any of their
I think we
shorts
talked
are
about
good.
Yeah, I think we talked about not starting with the editor.
Mm.
We've talked about it before, but like, yeah, not starting with the editor. Maybe do Father's Day. That is kind of a good introduction to.
I think
them.
the editor's good. I think anybody can watch it and enjoy it, but I think you'll really enjoy it if you like Giallo movies.
Yeah. I watched it again recently, and I feel like I just want to watch it over and over and over again. It's so good.
God damn it, they're good.
What did your brother think of it?
I think he liked it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's I was surprised he stayed that late to watch a movie with me anyway, so it was kind of neat. But I think Father's Day is going to be next for him, or The Taint.
Oh, The Taint is another good one. Not an Astron 6, but
Nope.
good nonetheless.
Nip Drubal Duke. That's who that is.
You,
See these movies now.
for sure. Buy the movies.
Yes, buy them and see them. Do not steal them. You can steal like other movies.
I paid like $40 for The Taint.
You paid $40 for The Taint?
Yeah. It was like $35.
Okay,
something.
well, it was worth it. So.
Yeah. For
I'd
sure.
pay $35. I think I paid $5 for The Taint.
Yeah, and mine is a Blu-ray though.
So,
I'm gonna be all.
is it?
Yeah, mine's the Blu-ray,
Well, you can see,
and that's what made it $35. That's what
now
made it
you
so
can-
expensive.
and you can see every vein in every penis.
Yeah. Well, I got a 4K TV too, so now it's gonna be even betterer.
We're gonna have to go back over some movies now.
I've really had a hankering to watch Martyrs for some reason again.
I have it. Want
Yeah.
to do that?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Let's just do an episode called Revisiting Martyrs.
Sure.
What the fuck? Why not?
Why not?
All we do is suck that movie's big, huge cock every episode. You guys ever heard Martyrs? It's pretty good. It's so good.
They're the director Pascal something or other. Laguerre something, yeah. His next movie, I can't remember what it's called. Something about Ghostland or something, but it looks pretty good.
Is it going to get a theatrical release?
Probably not. It's coming. It's like premiering at some film festival soon here.
Here?
And then, no, not here.
Oh.
I wish. But and then it's getting some kind of release in 2018.
Gotcha.
So, well,
because there's that film festival in Minneapolis every year.
Oh,
It's just a little one.
Is it a horror?
It's a whole bunch of stuff. That's where I saw Troll Hunter.
Oh.
Was at that, and I think I don't think it was part of it, but they also, that God Bless America was there, and Bobcat Goldthwait came and, talked about his movie and shit. And
didn't you say your friend sat next to him?
Yeah, he sat next to my friend for a second. He didn't realize who he was at first because he doesn't talk in that was that Police Academy or whatever that he was in?
Yeah,
one of them.
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't do that normally, which makes sense,
right?
That he wouldn't do that normally. But you've seen God Bless America, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's a great movie.
That's must see TV. That's a great one. But yeah, there's a film festival. They do all sorts of stuff. Yep. At what was it? It's a theater is right down the river, but in Dinkytown. Is it Dinkytown? When you go to you go left and there's Dinkytown with Burrito Loco and
on the West Bank there.
Yeah, but you go right instead, towards the Stone Arch Bridge area. I think is where. No, that's not right either. I don't think. Yeah, it is. It's over there. I can't remember what it's called. Riverview, maybe? No.
Oh, yeah. Riverside is right over there.
Maybe that's what it is, a Riverside.
Yeah.
I think I saw... Riverview does, summer movies. I saw Alien there. That was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
But the really fun theater in Minnesota, though I don't know if it is anymore because they, updated. Don't update. If you have an old-ass theater, as long as it doesn't give you fucking tetanus, just leave it alone. But, I can't remember what it's called now. The Lagoon, maybe? No, it's by the Lagoon.
Uptown?
Yeah. So that was sweet. I've seen a lot of movies there. I saw 2001 there.
Ooh.
A couple other things, but I saw it's not Ingmar Bergman. What's that guy's name?
No, Landmark.
What?
No, isn't Lagoon Landmark Lagoon? Is that what it is?
Did you see Jack Reacher?
No.
Fuck. What's that guy?
Is that the Tom Cruise one?
Yeah. So this director who did The Grizzly Man and shit, he was the bad guy in that movie.
Oh, yeah, I know.
No, that's not Ingmar Bergman. That's a different guy. What was that guy's name?
He made that really good documentary about the death row.
Werner Herzog.
Yes.
That guy's awesome. And so I listened to this other one we saw one there called Cave of Forgotten Dreams, I think is what it was called. It's about the earliest cave paintings and stuff. I could just listen to that guy talk about anything. He could talk about anything. I'm not gonna just come up with some whatever, but then he was the bad guy in Jack Reacher, which is what the fuck. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I've done, video game wise. Scary video games? Nope, none. Yeah, that's it. What about you?
All right, where to start?
Holy shit.
So I guess before I forget about it, I watched that 1922 movie. I think it's 1922 with Thomas Jane. It's another Stephen King adaptation on Netflix. And I wouldn't say that it's straight up horror. It has definite horror elements, but it's more along the lines of a Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, Stephen King. Thomas Jane does his best Billy Bob Thornton Sling Blade accent, not like mentally slow or whatever, but just that real southern drawl.
Thomas Jane. What has he been in? Look, he was the Punisher once, wasn't he?
Jonah Hex.
I didn't see that one, but he was.
Was that Jonah? Was he Jonah Hex? No, that was. Why am I not thinking of his name? The dude.
Josh Brolin.
Yes, Josh Brolin. I know he wanted to be Jonah Hex though, but Hung. That's what I always think of when I think of Thomas Jane.
Oh, he's in
The
The
Mist. Yeah, The Mist was another one. But yeah, it was. I think it was better than it. Not as good as Gerald's Game, but yeah, it was good. It has some nice gore in there. It's about a guy that kills his wife because she she inherits some land from her father, I think it is, and then she wants to sell the land, sell their house, and move to the city. But he's like, it's 1920s, so he's like, a man's worth is his land and his house and his boy. So yeah, so he talks his son into helping him kill his wife, and then.
So basically, the worst Stephen King movie that came out this year was It.
Yeah, it's starting to seem that way. Yeah,
that's funny.
No.
Okay, well, let's rank them. Gerald's Game versus 1922 versus It.
I think that's the correct order there.
Haven't seen 1922 yet, and I don't think anything's going to beat Gerald's Game for me.
No,
in this decade.
I wouldn't go that far. As far as Stephen King adaptations, yes.
This decade,
yes.
Sure.
But
what's your top movie of this decade so far?
This decade?
I like to do it in decades.
It's probably between It Follows and Autopsy of Jane Doe.
For me, it's between Gerald's Game and probably Autopsy of Jane Doe. I have a clear winner for last decade.
Huh?
I have a clear winner for the last decade.
What's that?
Martyrs.
Oh, yeah. Well, Martyrs was this decade?
No, 2008.
Oh, that's right. See, now I'm thinking of the frickin' American remake.
Lame.
Now that is the worst movie of the last 3 decades.
Yeah, I would rather watch
anything.
Steel Magnolias. Just pulling a random movie out of my ass.
It's with you and Tom Cruise.
He's not in Steel Magnolias.
He is.
No, he's not. He's in Magnolia. Steel Magnolias is that movie about the women.
The old ladies. Yeah.
And I do love me some Tom Cruise, though.
Yeah. He probably was in it.
Yeah,
Probably was.
Yeah, no, cool. I want to see 1920. Is that on Netflix?
It is. It's
cool.
a Netflix production.
Cool. Is it supported by the 4K?
Probably.
Oh, I'm coming over to watch that.
Yeah.
I'm never going to watch a movie at my house again. I'm going to be over here more than once a week now.
I know. Well, we got to make use of it now that I'm paying fucking $4 more.
Jesus.
Just for that sweet 4K Ultra HD.
So now you got yourself a 4K before you realized that PS4 Pro didn't have playback capabilities.
Yes.
So what do you do now? Do you buy PS4 Pro first or a 4K Blu-ray player first?
So I was looking at 4K Blu-ray players, and they're like $160 roughly. And then I was looking at that, and I was like, well, shit. The Xbox One X is coming out in a few days here. They're $500. And I was like, oh, God. Maybe I'll just have to bite the bullet, get an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro.
I have a better idea.
Yes.
Don't get an Xbox One at all. Don't get it. Just get a PS4 Pro if you must, because it'll have the video game 4K stuff. It'll support 4K video games, which is good. But just get a 4K Blu-ray player and take the Xbox One you currently have and throw it in the garbage.
I was thinking about trading it in, but garbage is probably the better place for it.
Well, trade it in towards the PS4 Pro.
Oh, that's a good idea. See, now I'm not really sure. Like, I've seen movies in 4K, but I've never seen a video game in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
And before we started watching the movie, we played a little bit of Gran Turismo Sport.
It's pretty good looking.
And
Game
yeah,
sucks though, but yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah, like looking at that, it's like, do I really need 4K? Like, I can't really imagine it looking much better than that.
I can't imagine video games looking much better than they look now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting simulated sweat and pores in current graphics without 4K.
Right.
So it's like, what else could you possibly do with 4K as far as like resolution goes?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more to do with like the HDR. I think that's more of probably a difference than 4K.
Yeah.
Because with all the lighting, shadows, and all that, that probably makes a bigger impact than having a higher resolution.
But see, at this point, you're going to have to start upping graphic cards for consoles. I mean, like big, huge, hard-hitting graphics cards right now run in the $800 range. Are we going to start seeing $800 consoles?
Well, that's probably why the Xbox One X is $500.
And they're probably, I wonder if they're taking a hit on it. Or if they are able to actually get a decent, like, graphics card in there.
Yeah.
So what are they? I mean, that's at this point with video gaming. Like, I always think there'll be a market for consoles because of their price range and their simplicity.
Yes.
A lot of people are computer illiterate. I mean, I had one built, but I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know it. Like, I talked to this tech guy at work. He goes, "You could build a computer. That's not that big of a deal."
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I want to go to a store, bring home something, and plug it to my TV and then play on it.
Yes.
It's bad enough that I got to update the thing and blah blah blah. But like, and that's fine. I mean, it's all those things are fine because the product gets better when it does these things.
Right.
I think there'll always be a place for consoles, but at what we're like, are they going to start? I mean, what are they going to do about like, I mean, I guess nothing's gonna happen. I just think that you're if you want like the best video game experience, you're just gonna have to go to PC.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like with the PC comes with now you're downloading. Oh, now you want to use your computer for something other than video games, so you're gonna download the Microsoft Word or Office suite, and so. It seems like you just keep on adding these different programs to your computer, and it slows it down. I mean, that's what happened with mine.
Sure.
But
there's ways around that, like getting, if you put your operating systems on like solid state drives and shit like that, that things will run smoother. Or like really important games that you really care about, you can throw like on an SSD, which they'll run better because you can access the memory faster on SSDs.
Yeah, I put an SSD in my PS4.
Cool.
And so let's just get into this. I've gotten bit by that Dark Souls 3 bug.
Again?
Yes.
You're playing Dark Souls 3 now? I know you went back to Dark Souls.
No, I did a while ago.
Yeah.
But then...
You played Bloodborne.
Yep.
And then now you're playing Dark Souls 3?
Now I'm playing Dark Souls 3. And so anyways, I'm like... I'm using a guide because I just don't... I want to play the game, but I don't want to have to like think about it. I don't want to have to think about where I'm going. I want to collect all the items. But obviously that doesn't... A video doesn't help me play the game.
You're doing
like
it
I
wrong.
still have to I still have to die a million times and suffer bosses and all that. Yeah, it's hard. But so I've noticed that I'll sync up almost exactly with the video, like going back to a bonfire or anything. And I've noticed mine actually loads faster than the person in the video.
Well, that's awesome.
Because I have the solid state drive. I mean, it's very minute, but it's still there. It's still a little bit faster, so that's cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, Dark Souls 3. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I still don't know if it's better than Bloodborne, but I will say
I think that's hard. That would be a hard thing to choose between.
Yeah, I will say that like the environments and the world of Dark Souls 3 is a lot more. There's more variety to it than Bloodborne.
More varied,
yeah, and more colors and all of that. So I would say, yeah, that goes to Dark Souls 3. But as far as like story and all that, I still have to go with Bloodborne.
Sure.
Yeah.
I gotta go back to Bloodborne and play through that because I didn't have any fucking clue what's going on in that game. Like, I understand the premise, but like I don't know what's going on.
I mean, all those games.
I found out how to get the good ending on Bloodborne, though.
Yeah.
I like it. How would you ever know?
Well, you have to find the umbilical cords, duh.
Yeah, and then you find them, and then what?
Then you kill everything.
Yep. I love those games. Souls games are they might be my favorite games.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something about them. Like, I have a very much love-hate relationship with them. Like, I really look forward to the next one, but at the same time, I'll get into it, and then I'll be like, mad. I cannot do this. Like, oh, it drives me crazy. But every single time, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for this new Souls game to come out.
Yeah, except we're not getting any more of those. But I think
not Souls,
but man, I don't even care if they just Miyazaki.
They're making something. Souls. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed to be Bloodborne 2.
Like, Bloodborne 2 is going to be what it is. But I know, like, he's done with Dark Souls, and people are like, yeah, it should be over. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Make another Dark Souls 4. Have it be something different completely. Yeah. It's a cyclical pattern where things keep happening because it's stuck in this loop, and then you break the loop, or whatever. Well, maybe what happens if, like, do what if scenarios?
Yeah.
Like the whole Zelda timeline. You ever looked at that fucking atrocity?
Yeah, like branches off. Like,
yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Make Dark Souls 4 like if your character becomes if you do the whole Lord of the Hollows ending.
Sure.
So then you fight the Lord of the Hollows. So instead of relinking fire and this and that, you're just trying to take the fire back from the Lord of Hollows kind of a thing. So instead of like when you fight the boss in the first game where you're relinking the fire again, and then the second game I didn't beat, so I don't remember, and then the third game, you're relinking the fire again. Have it this time, you're trying to get the fire back from this Lord of Hollows kind of a thing. If that's even really what he did, I can't really remember, but
like as we were talking about this, I was thinking in my head, like, what time period have we not really seen from not just from software, but from any Souls-like game? And I just realized, like, we've got the future with the Surge, we got the fantasy with the Dark Souls, we got the Victorian era with the Bloodborne.
Yeah.
What about Wild West Souls? What is a melee Wild West weapon?
Gunblade. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, that's the only.
See, I mean, if you wanted to do like an Americana version of this kind of thing, I think you could go with the Bloodborne set in like 1920s East Coast,
like a mobster.
No, like a Lovecraft story.
Oh, okay.
Like you literally go to Arkham and talk to Zadok. Well, I guess that was Innsmouth, but you go to Innsmouth and you end up at the end of the game you're fighting in Arkham.
Sure.
And maybe the Star Lords and Star Vampires have taken over, and and so things get progressively worse. Something like Dark Soul or Bloodborne meets LA Noire.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Build a real investigation aspect into the game. You can only progress by investigating. So you have to progress the story to progress the game, kind of a thing. So you have to do real investigation, which you can tie to mini games or whatever.
Is that kind of like antithetical to a Souls game, though?
I don't know.
Having actual story in the game.
We got to get the man from upstairs because he's a video game dude. See, He would have told me to shut up by now. but I don't know. But it doesn't have to be an investigation thing either. It could just be fighting there where you have like a cane and a 6-shooter kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Well, that would definitely be more Bloodborne than.
yeah, I would go Bloodborne set. You know, it could be Bloodborne set in a 1920s, but make it feel more, you know, like a what if, like, because so like melee is functional in there because like you know, you had guns all over the place back then.
Yeah.
You know, so apart from just your single shot, whatever, so you could do like revolvers and semi-autos and stuff. You know, because whatever, but.
You know, that very likely could be Bloodborne too, because I don't think Bloodborne really lends itself to like how Dark Souls has that cyclical, trying to start the fires or trying to put out the fires, or the fires are going out.
Dark
or whatever.
Souls is easy to relate to itself.
Yeah,
as you make sequels to it.
Yep, and Bloodborne doesn't really have that, so they could potentially go in any sort of direction with it.
Sure, I don't know. I like a horror western kind of could be cool. I mean, I know they did that thing with the Red Dead Redemption with the zombies,
Undead Nightmare,
something like that. But thinking with like a Souls game, like fighting like dudes like that in a, it's just like, you know, when you think of the Old West, you think of these, you know, little towns. So it's like, oh, I was in this little town, and then I walked through a desert for 400 miles, and I found another little town, and, you know, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, I like that idea. I don't know. They're just so much fun to play. I mean, I can go back to Dark Souls 3 and play it again and have fun. So I guess I don't need them to make another one. I just wouldn't care. I'd like more content and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be enough, like... companies outside of From Software making Souls-like games.
Yeah, well, like we had Neo this year.
Yeah, and
Japanese one. Like
we're getting Code Vein.
Yep.
Which looks really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's definitely going to be no shortage of Souls-like games.
Yeah,
because everything has a Souls-like game.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah. It's kind of almost like reinvented the third-person action adventure game.
Yeah,
like everything
for sure.
You know,
it just has to be really hard, and you have to die a lot.
Yep. And not have but like, you know, you still have your shooter versions of that. Like you still have your, like, aren't we getting a Last of Us 2?
Oh yeah, Paris Games Week. We got a new trailer.
Yeah, so Last of Us 2.
Did you watch that
which
trailer?
Is not a Souls-like game, but
no. Did you watch that?
I didn't watch that.
See, the man upstairs said he didn't like it, right? He didn't like the new trailer?
He said he thought it looked like an awesome... what's that new...
Days Gone.
He said it looked like an awesome Days Gone trailer, but it ended up being an okay Last of Us 2 trailer.
Yeah. See, I actually really liked the new trailer.
Sure.
I guess the only thing I could see kind of like not liking about it is that it has all characters you don't know, all new characters, so you don't really have that, like, what is this all about, what is going on, but it hints at really cool things, so I think that that's what I like about it.
Okay.
Like it's sort of, it has to do with this woman being captured, and she gets hung by the neck, but they put like a chair down by her feet, and so she can kind of breathe. And they're talking about, like, you have it inside of you. Like, what I think they meant by that is, like, she's infected, or like she is maybe pregnant and the baby is like infected. But wherever they go with that, like, if people can be hosts for the parasite but not actually turn into the, what do they call those things? Clickers. That would be really cool. And then they get, like, the people that kidnapped her get shot with arrows and meet some other women. Yeah, it just, I liked it. I like it. Sets a nice tone.
I have a good feeling about. I mean, even if the trailer sucks, I bet you it's gonna be fine.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
I like the Last of Us a lot. Like
One of the best games ever made.
I thought Naughty Dog was overrated and mediocre until I played that game because I never thought the Drake's games.
That's
were
right.
that
You
good.
don't like Uncharted.
No, I don't. I don't care about those games at all.
Yeah.
I think if you took the combat out of Uncharted games, I might like them.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean,
My favorite.
Last of Us has a lot of combat, but it's definitely nowhere near the Uncharted games.
No.
And yeah, The Last of Us just doesn't really feel like a video game. It feels like interactive storytelling, if you want to go that route. But yeah, it's so good, so well done, just making you feel like you're a part of this nightmarish world that's going on.
Yeah, it's good. I really like that one. Yep, Drake's so nope. Don't like it. Bored out of
Uncharted
my mind.
is great. You're crazy.
It's bored out of my mind. I watched my brother play 2 of them all the way through. I sat through it twice, and I was having fun when we were doing puzzles.
Yeah.
And like looking at stuff. Then we'd get to combat, and I was like, "This game is terrible."
Well, I really think that part of what makes Uncharted great is when you get to the huge like cinematic set pieces and like shit is falling apart all around you, like you kind of have to have a controller in hand to really appreciate it as it's going on around you.
Sure.
So yeah,
I can admit to that. Like, not playing it probably is definitely affecting my opinion on it for sure.
Yeah.
I readily admit that, but after watching it now, I have no interest.
I get
in playing.
the combat definitely is it's not its strong suit for sure.
Yeah, because like watching him do that and then die and then have to repeat it, it just seemed like such a like artificial lengthener to a game that didn't need it. You know, it's like the combat should have been short and sweet and like felt optional or something. They just like you have these big long combat scenes. And it's just like you know.
I think they get Uncharted 4 and then Lost Legacy, the expansion.
Yeah.
Really, I think because it opens up the environment, so you aren't really stuck to like a shooting gallery. You have an option to sort of sneak around and take out enemies stealth wise. So it doesn't quite feel as stale, I guess, or a shooting gallery.
Yeah, I know. I don't, but it looks amazing. I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
They look great. I don't like the characters very much, or the story never really did anything for me, but I will admit that the writing is done well. I mean, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's... I can say that, yeah, that's good. The acting is good. The voice acting is good. All that's good. I just don't care about it. Yeah. And I think it's... Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just something about that game. It's just like... I don't know what it is. I wish I could get over it, and I've tried. I've tried to play it, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing this. Dark Souls, on the other hand, where there's no voice acting, and the story's fucking dumb. I love that.
Oh, Dark Souls. I'm going to try to beat Dark Souls 3 by the time my vacation is over. I have about a week and a half left.
What's the last boss you fought?
Oh God. So I made it through the swamp. It was actually a really easy boss, I think. Oh, it was the big tree thing.
Oh,
looks like a tree, but it's like all.
Oh, you just did that one?
Yeah.
Oh God, I do that right away. Because then you get that thing you can give the guy, and then he can transform your items into your like monster souls and the things. Yeah, I do him immediately. I go do that first. Well, second. The first thing I try to do once I get to like the undead town and stuff, the first thing I do is go fight the fire demon because I go after that chloromanthy ring. That chloromanthy ring is awesome if you use a lot of stamina up.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It wasn't that tree thing. It was the, what do they call it? The unseen demon? No. The demon, like, it's by the big wolf thing. The
big, like, dead wolf up in the tower?
Yep.
Did you go up the tower?
Yeah.
And you're talking about the big like rock monster up on top?
Yeah, it's called like a something
It's
demon.
called the Wandering Demon.
Yes, that is the last.
He's an optional boss.
Yep.
And take his ass to Mr. Dude. Do you wear a lot of heavy shit? Or are you going with a lighter build?
I try to keep it. I'm not wearing the Lothric armor.
But you're wearing heavier armor?
Yeah, medium.
Did you beat that boss?
Yes.
Did you go to...
Yes, I got the ring.
Yes. Yeah. What's that ring called again? Harold's? No, something...
Havel's ring?
Havel's ring or Havel's ring, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, so good. So then did you light all the fires in the swamp?
Yep.
Did you go up there?
Not yet.
Okay, that's where you're going.
So that's where I am. I'm kind of leveling up a little bit because there's that awesome spot, the bonfire, like where you spawn to the back of. There's 3. I don't know what the enemies are called. There's 3 of them though, like up on a bridge, like not facing you, so you can just spawn at the bonfire, run out, kill them, run back, and respawn.
Are they hairy and spit poison?
One of them does.
Yeah, okay. I can't remember what they're called either, but I know exactly what bonfire you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's in the swamp still, and it's like towards the back of that area. Because if you run down the other way, that leads to the door where you go to the next area.
Yes, exactly.
I can't remember what those guys are called. I'm trying to think of like good places to like get XP at this point in the game.
Well, you get 1,000 plus each time you fight those 3, so it's not. Not terrible. As far as where I am in level wise, like it's pretty decent.
So if you go up that next area, you'll find another bonfire that actually leads you back to the Forest of the Crucified.
Oh, yeah.
There's also a Black Knight, one of the Charred Knights, and he keeps respawning. So you can run back to the bonfire, kill 3 of those guys, and then him. And try to like farm those armor pieces, the Charred Knight armor pieces. You can keep doing that. I think there's one other guy with a cross that might come in if he sees you that you'll have to fight. But that's a good place to like level up a couple souls. Oh, plus there's 2 of the undead. They suck your soul and they had the dark swords. That's like supposed to be the best single-handed sword in the game, I guess.
Which one?
Pretty cool. The dark sword, I want to call it. It's the guys that look like bones. And they when you get up there, you'll see them because you're going to run into them and try to fight them one at a time.
Yeah.
When you see them walking, try to only pull one of them. If you pull them both, it's going to be a bitch.
Yeah.
And you can keep respawning there and let them fight the other things. When you spawn at this spot, this new one, you can open a door, go all that back there. I think you can actually find a new ember for that might. I think you can find a new ember too that for making weapons that way too.
Oh, really?
But when you go there, you'll come out and you'll see the 2 guys walking. Now, if you don't get too close, you can pull the one guy that's closest to you, fight him off. The other one will run up and fight some guys. Then you can run while he's weakened and drop him and farm their pieces too.
I realized. So all the Souls games, and Bloodborne even does it, like, there's a certain point where I stopped playing and I realized what that point was. It's when the games all get to a point where all of a sudden you can no longer, like, take your time in an area.
Yeah.
Like, the swamp, for example, you're poisoned if you stay too long in the water.
Yeah.
So, and Bloodborne, there's the frenzy area.
Suck.
There's a frenzy area where there's enemies that cause you to frenzy and basically kill you, one-shot you if you let the frenzy build up.
Sure.
And that's where the games lose me, I think. It's where I can no longer just pull enemies like...
So the next boss fight you have.
Yeah.
After that boss fight, this next area you're going to go into, you're going to fucking hate.
Oh, God. It's worse than the swamp?
Yeah. Well, you're using a guide, so it'll probably help, actually. But, like, just wandering around this area is a fucking pain in the ass.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, trying to use a guide and being in those areas is so hard because you can't pause the game.
No.
So, yeah, I have to basically watch the video beforehand and try to remember exactly where to go. And yeah, that just sucks because everything is happening all around. Like, you're trying not to die, but trying to go a specific way at the same time. And it's just like, come on.
Who do you fight when you do that then? So after you go fight the next group, the next boss, then you go into this area. Who's the boss at the end of that one? Because you go, oh, there's a secret area. I wonder if they'll take you into when you go to this next spot. Oh yes, now I know who you fight after that too. That's a cool fight. And then after that, you go back up and to. Oh, did you go after you fought the Crystal Mages?
Yes.
Did you go up to the left and go into the like cathedral area? Did you fight zombies that like barf maggots on you?
No.
Okay, never mind then. Still have that to do. Okay.
So how far would you say I am in the game?
Let's see. You got that boss, that boss. There's that optional boss, which is a cool one. There's a secret with that big giant fucking lizard thing. There's those two big giants, and then there's. Oh yeah, you're gonna fight all those priesty dudes, which is kind of a boss fight, but not really. But then you have to fight the Archbishop. Oh, then you got to fight the fucking Pontiff. Oh, wait till you get to that shit. Then after that, you go to Orlando and you fight. Yeah, that's where you fight that guy. And then after that fight, oh, I think after that fight, then you go and you fight the dancer, and then you end up in that. Then you fight through that whole shit. Then you fight the main dudes. You still got like a couple. Like you still got like 5 to 6 boss fights. I'm playing.
Oh wow!
I mean, you have a ways to go still. Like,
so I'm not even like halfway. What do you say?
I'd say you're no, because you haven't even done the cathedral part yet.
No,
where you can raise and lower the walls, and there's like 2 giants. Okay, you're not even halfway yet.
Oh god.
No, I wouldn't say you're halfway yet.
Okay, well maybe I won't finish the game before. But I have like a week and a half. No, I have tons of shit. I still have to play Evil Within 2.
What level what's your highest weapons plus right now? Are you still at a plus?
So I haven't found any large Titanite.
Oh, you haven't even found large Titanite?
No.
You've got a ways to go.
Okay. That's what I was kind of thinking, because I was like, well, I can buy Titanite now, but
okay, sure.
Yeah, I haven't found a single large Titanite.
Yeah, I can't remember what the large what ashes you need to sell to get large Titanite. But
can you also at some point buy large?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's expensive. It's like 3,000 a pop or something like that. But at that point in the game, you're getting it pretty quick. So. Yeah. And at that point of the game too, you're probably pretty sure what weapon you're going to use the most. So, but yeah, you got a ways to go. If you need a pro to help you with a boss fight, just let me know.
Yeah. So Walking Dead is back. I don't think we've had an episode since Walking Dead came back. It's now 2 episodes deep.
Any good?
No. I wouldn't say so.
Sure. I had trouble. Remember, if this is the first time tuning in to our horror movie podcast, one of us doesn't like The Walking Dead.
It's okay, but so the premiere, I felt like at the end of it, I was just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, what is this? Because they kind of did flashbacks, and the episode kind of ends. Do you
remember when you guys liked our show?
Started. Yeah, and it seems like this entire season is gonna be like just one long battle. I mean, I'm sure it's not, but
with zombies.
No, it's
I'm done with that. What the fuck? It's not. I don't care about these characters.
The first 2 episodes are essentially exactly the same.
Ugh.
It's like they're battling. Cool.
So
let's get on with it.
You and I talked about Battlestar Galactica. I would drop this show.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not horror related, but just drop Walking Dead, give up on it.
Yeah.
And watch Battlestar Galactica.
It's only 4 seasons.
But Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah. Plus a movie?
There's movies. There's a couple other offshoots. I have a couple of the other things I can borrow you, or lend you. Sorry if you're not from Minnesota. They're broken into half seasons. So there's like season 1 and 1.5, 2, 2.5, and it's like each one's like, I can't remember how many episodes total, but it's long.
Oh, really?
It's a fucking long series.
See, I was led to believe it was 4 seasons and it's pretty short and no,
it's long.
Okay.
It feels long. It feels like 8 seasons. It does. Although my wife did catch up to me and my buddy in like a month.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she was steamrolling the shit out of that show. And then she caught up to us, and then because we couldn't get together, she watched the last episode before we did. But just drop Walking Dead. That's not fair, though, because I haven't liked Walking Dead since the first episode where Rick meets everybody.
That's pretty much where it falls apart.
That's where I'm just like, I'm done with this show.
Yeah.
I liked it when he woke up in the hospital with a beard and he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And it's like, I would have preferred him wandering around by himself for like 4 seasons.
That would have been awesome.
Like treat it more like The Road or something.
Maybe like occasionally run into other groups, but then
like when he runs into that guy and his kid. I love that whole thing. Like, and then the emotions you get from that guy, like aiming at his wife who's a zombie now, and he just can't bring himself to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
and the kid's sad and this and that. It's just like, and I understand they come back into the story at some point.
Well, Morgan is like in the group now.
Is that the dad?
Yeah,
or the kid.
The dad.
Okay.
Kid's dead.
Oh, of course. But so it's just like, even if it was just Rick, Morgan, and his kid, and that was the first season, the whole thing, it was them just trying to get out of that town.
Yeah.
Better show. And then Rick never finds his family.
Yep.
Better show.
Never has to deal with his wife, Lori, pregnant. Now he has a baby.
Dumb.
Probably not his.
It's probably his partner's.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I don't know. Apparently it was like the 3rd lowest ratings-wise of the entire series.
Sure.
But still, like, it's a ratings juggernaut, so.
What do they call zombies in that show?
Walkers.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Other groups have different names for them, but yeah, they're walkers.
They don't call them zombies?
No, they don't.
I love that in Shaun of the Dead. Well, there's any more zombies out there? Don't say that. Say what? The Z word.
Let's see. I thought there was something else I watched. Something else.
You did, but I don't want to talk about it until I watch it. You watched the new Stranger Things.
Stranger Things,
yeah,
season 2.
Let's hold off. I can finish this by next week.
Winona Ryder. That's all I'll say. I love Winona Ryder.
She was a great Mina, but she was terrible. But she was great.
But yeah, season 2 is great.
Cool.
I've only seen 2 episodes.
Doesn't matter.
So,
yep, good.
I'm sure we'll both have finished it by next week.
Yep.
Which, speaking of next week, John Carpenter next week, in case you've forgotten.
I did forget. What day is that?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, and what time is that at?
7-ish.
And where is it at?
The Myth.
Oh, that's in Maplewood. I'll meet you there.
No, meet me here.
Meet you here?
Yeah.
You want me to drive all the way down here to go back up to Maplewood and then come back down here to get my car and go back home?
Oh, no.
You see what I'm saying?
Wait, wouldn't you be coming from work, though?
Oh, yeah. So work's here, right? And then you're here. And Maplewood's here. Yeah, that's not it. I'll come here first.
Okay.
Nope, that works. I'll come here
first. All right. But yeah, that's really snuck up on.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I get to that's fucking cool to get to see. I will have seen then 2 great horror movie bands because I saw Goblin.
Oh yeah.
When they
still
came
jealous,
with Zombie.
yeah, still
oh
jealous.
My god, that was the best show. I think that might be easily top 3 shows of all time for me. And I haven't seen that many. I mean, I like to think I've seen a lot of concerts, but then you talk to people that go to a lot of concerts, and I haven't seen shit. But yeah, I like that. That's good. And then now John Carpenter, fuck yeah. I hope he brings Nick Castle with him.
Ooh.
And then they do Big Trouble in Little China. But I don't know. My friend went and saw him in, I think, San Francisco. So
yeah, I think it's gonna be cool.
Cool.
Be awesome. I'm surprised he's playing the Myth though, because the Myth is pretty big, and I don't know.
There.
I don't know if there's that many people that are like. I mean, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of people.
Are you kidding me? He could have filled the XL.
Are you think?
Sold out.
You think so?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out next Wednesday.
So I think what we should do is be like, yo, John, you should call up Goblin and Zombie, and you guys should go on a huge-ass fucking tour and make sure you come here and give us free tickets.
We should have John Carpenter write the Scream Fiends theme song.
That'd be a good idea. You think he'd do it?
No.
Nope. He will. He would. He'd just say, pay me.
Yeah. Touche. All right. It's not a whole lot of news. I guess the only real one that I want to mention is Rise of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's
John Romero's son is making it.
I'll see it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a prequel to Night of the Living Dead. So
Cool.
that would be neat. Sort of like the origin, I guess you could
It'd be
say.
kind of cool to see a 70s period piece with zombies.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, bam. Are they going to do fucking Goblin soundtrack?
That would be dope.
If they don't do Goblin soundtrack, I'm going to be very mad.
All right, let's do this. Shoot. This episode's movie of the week is
A movie we were going to do years ago.
2016's Hush.
I bet if I hit the right spot, I can make you scream.
Yeah, we were going to do this movie a long ass time ago. I feel like it was probably like one of the very first episodes we were going to do.
I don't remember what happened. Why we didn't see it. And then we ended up watching it separately anyways. Well, I think you had already watched it.
Yeah, I'd watched it and I was like, we need to do this movie. Like, this movie is great. Spoilers, but...
Oh, yeah, it's great. Who gives a shit? Yep, it's good. So what do you rate it? What do you give it? But first and foremost, we're going to go through the casting here, but I want to just talk real quick about the director.
Yeah.
Michael Flanagan is starting to open a spot in my heart for him, and he needs to keep doing what he's doing because he's good.
He is great. Like, we talking about Gerald's Games. He did Gerald's Game, obviously, but yeah, Oculus.
I haven't seen Oculus.
I want to see
his
I
stuff
want to
now.
watch it again.
Oh, next week, Michael Flanagan month.
Yeah, now that I sort of have an idea of his filmmaking, but I remember. I know we've talked about it before, but I remember like thinking it wasn't a great movie overall, like story-wise, but that it was well directed. So I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
So November's gonna be Michael Flanagan month.
yeah,
Let's
I
do
want to
Oculus
watch
next.
it again,
Yeah,
just
we could do that.
cause. Yeah.
That or Mr. Jones or whatever. But yeah. Who else do we got in this movie though?
So it is starring Kate Siegel
Siegel
as Maddie.
Ziegel.
John Gallagher Jr. as the man who was in the Belko Experiment by the what's his name? James Gunn. Not a great movie, but
Slither's good.
yes. Michael Trucco
He's in
As-
Battlestar Galactica.
as John.
I think his name was Hilo in that movie. Like his call sign was Hilo. I think he was a Viper pilot, if I remember correctly.
And Samantha Sloyan as Sarah. It was
Neighbor.
written by Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel and directed by Mike Flanagan.
And Kate Siegel are married.
Yeah.
They're married. Nice.
Makes sense. I would marry Mike Flanagan if he made such great movies.
Yeah, and then he put me in them. If I was a good actress and he was my husband, be fucking. That's like a dream team. She was good in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember in Gerald's Game. She's in that too, apparently.
So yeah, this movie starts out with
a lady cooking.
And
they're really, what I like is they really focus on the sounds of the cooking.
Yes.
The crunching of the garlic and the chopping of the onions and the asparagus and the sizzling of the lamb chops, sort of. Those were, what were those things?
I don't know what they were. Yeah.
But
yeah, lots of cooking noises.
And then you get a close-up of her face, and it pans around her to her ear, and the sound goes away.
Yeah, it's just sort of like a muffled, can't hear anything, and it establishes that she is deaf.
Yep.
And then
she gets a text on her computer.
Yeah, and it's her neighbor
Sarah
asking if she can come over.
Yep, she wants to stop by.
Yep, so she does. And we meet Sarah.
Yep, and they're signing to each other, and what we find out here, too, is that Kate, what's her name?
Maddie.
Maddie is a writer.
Yep.
And she's got a knack for endings, and her mother calls it writer's brain, and all this and that, and they call her, and her cat's name is Bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, we learned...
Bitch.
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 But so our friend's trying to learn sign language and stuff, but she can read lips really good because she didn't. What we find out too from in this general area of the movie is that she had contracted bacterial meningitis, lost her hearing, and then due to a surgery, she suffered permanent loss of hearing and paralyzed vocal cords.
Yeah, because she gives Sarah a copy of her book.
Yeah.
And on the back of it or inside, whatever.
Like the inside cover with a little shit about the author.
Yeah, and that's where it says.
Yep. So you learn all this from her, and they're just kind of sitting around hanging out, and then Sarah goes home.
Yeah, it kind of makes it seem like she hasn't really been there that long, I don't think.
Yeah, there's something about it. Then she gets a phone. She also gets a text from a guy named Craig, and it says, "I thought about you today," and then she deletes that. And then she's at home alone at this point.
Yep.
And she goes to FaceTime him, but then doesn't. And then goes for it again, then doesn't, because she doesn't want to. She don't like him for some reason.
Yep.
And I like how they never explore that. You
never
know anything about Craig except for, he liked her or something. Because he tries calling back, doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So she calls.
Her sister calls.
Her sister calls, yeah.
Yep.
Max.
Max. Yes.
So Max calls up and they're talking, and her sister's like, you should just come home, so some, blah, 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 it's not safe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Being all alone out there. And, then we get...
We missed a big part.
Huh.
This time I realized it. So when she's hanging out with Sarah on the porch, she forgets that she was cooking, and then the smoke alarm goes off.
Oh, yes.
And because she's deaf, the smoke alarm is a strobe light, and the beeping sound is like super high pitched because it reverberates in the house and it causes vibration, which would wake her up if she was sleeping.
Yep.
So then that you learn that she's got this thing, which is watching this movie, you will realize that this comes into play later. I mean, you just know that it's coming into play later.
Yeah.
If you watch this movie and don't realize that, you don't watch a lot of horror movies or movies in general. But
yeah, so she's FaceTiming. Wait. No, she must be doing something else before that.
We missed the biggest part of this, the beginning here. Before she goes to her computer and starts working again on her writing, she's cleaning up dishes.
That's when it happens.
Yes.
Yes.
Sarah comes to the door, screaming and pounding on the door and screaming,
bloody.
"Please see me."
She's all bloody.
Yep. Please see me. Please see me. Please see me. But it's too late. The guy at the mask gets her.
Yep.
And he's stabbing her.
Repeatedly, over and over again, like pounding her up against the door.
And he's realizing that the girl inside can't hear him.
Yeah.
And then he starts like tapping on the glass and this and that.
Yep.
And then he sneaks in.
That's when she gets the FaceTime call from Max.
Yep, and then he kind of steals her phone and gets out of the room.
Yep.
And then after the conversation with Max happens, she gets a message from herself with pictures.
Well, no. So the way the phone call ends with Max is that the guy takes her phone and Max kind of sees it, but just says like, what was that in the back there?
Yeah.
And Maddie's just like, oh, it's probably the cat. Like,
Oh, and I got to go find her. So that's
Yeah.
why she ends the phone call.
yeah.
Then she gets the picture mail.
Yes.
And all the pictures are of her going through her house trying to find the cat. And that was pretty cool. Like, okay, he's, creeping up on her. And then the final picture is where she was currently sitting.
Looking at the
thing.
pictures, yeah.
So then she looks over at the door, and as she comes around the door, she sees the guy.
Yeah.
So she runs, shuts the door, and they basically chase each other from door to door to door to door, and locks each one.
Yeah.
And he kind of keeps disappearing around. So then she sneaks away, gets some lipstick and a flashlight.
He goes and stabs her car tires. Yep.
Making her realize she's not getting out of there.
Yeah.
So she writes on the thing, I didn't see her face, I won't tell. And my boyfriend's coming home.
Yeah.
And I didn't see her face. So he's staring at her through the window and takes his mask off and says, "Can you read lips?" And she doesn't say anything first. So, "Can you read lips?" She goes, "Yes." He goes, "Well, it looks like you've seen it now."
Yeah.
Boyfriend? Come on, Maddie. You live up here, and what he does is he quotes the conversation that she had with Max, and she realizes now she's fucked.
Yep.
And this begins one of the greatest cat and mouse games I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah. So from this point, it's the entire rest of the movie is like a final girl. Like you get that at the last part of most horror movies.
Yeah.
The final girl.
Yep.
But yeah, this entire movie is like the final girl scene.
It's the chaos field of horror movies, because chaos field for video game, if you're not a video game nut, is a shoot 'em up like a Gladius or Gradius, which I think was actually supposed to be Gladius, but it was like a bad translation.
Oh.
But Gradius and all those things, but it's basically every level is just a giant boss fight.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So she's locks all the doors, is sneaking around, and he tells her, "I'm coming in at some point."
Yeah. Not right now.
Not right now, but when it's time.
When you want to die,
that's when I'll come in.
Yeah.
And so she's immediately like trying to figure out how to get out of this. So she's a writer. She comes up with some ideas, So the first one she does is pretty cool. She grabs the key fob out of her purse because she remembers that her friend had keys or something, or they're in her purse. So she can't get the panic button to work from inside the house, which was bullshit.
Oh yeah, I mean it wasn't even that far away.
No.
Like,
and so she has to open the door.
Well, I
which
mean,
is like creating tension.
To be fair, like sometimes if the batteries are low, then they tend to shorten the distance. But
okay, and that could have been the possibility.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll let it slide.
I'll let that slide. But she starts the car alarm on her thing, and so the guy runs over there because she can't hear it, so it's fine for her, and it creates noise, so he won't hear her run. So she gets out the door, hides under the porch, and then he starts wandering around the house again.
Wait, are you sure she doesn't?
Well, is this not the hiding under the porch?
I don't think so. I think she runs. She go up on the roof?
No, that's not this point, because the roof one's where she throws a flashlight.
Oh, that's right.
No, so she starts the car alarm. He runs over and is smashing it. She goes outside and
maybe she does go underneath the deck at that point.
I can't remember now, because I can remember him going to the door, because he gets that to stop, and then he comes up on the porch though, and she's feeling him walk.
Yeah.
And then he goes around. Then she takes off, but then he realizes what she's doing and shoots the crossbow at her. and she stops and then runs back in the house. And
well, is that where she gets it in the leg?
no, that's when the roof part.
Oh, that's right.
But she goes back. She runs in the house. He chases her back into the house, and she slams the door on his hand or something.
Yes.
And so,
Well, doesn't she get him with the hammer?
oh, yeah, that's the first thing she does. So she hides in her bedroom with the hammer and the knife. No, I remember now. She starts the car alarm because she remembers that. So this is what happens. She hides in her room. Then she sees knocking on the window, and she looks at Sarah. The dude's using Sarah's body.
That's
knock on the
right.
window.
Yes.
So she goes out of that room, and she's like crying and this and that. And then she gets the idea with the car keys, starts the car alarm. He runs over to the car. She runs back out there because she's looking for the phone that she had in her back pocket.
Yeah.
But she gets out there and there's no phone in the back pocket.
No.
So as he comes back around figuring out what she's doing, and so she crawls back in the window because she's like hanging out of it, and he goes to try to lift it up, and she slams it on his fingers. Then somehow he's strong enough, despite her pulling her whole weight down, he would have no leverage. But he lifts the thing up, so she runs, grabs the hammer, and hits him.
That's
with it.
right.
And the plier, like the puller part, hits him in the forearm, and it gets stuck in his arm, and he pulls it out. And she's looking at the body, and he pulls Sarah's phone out of his pocket, like
it's all smashed.
Smashed up. This is what you're looking for,
and puts it down on Sarah's dead body, and then takes Sarah's like necklace
or earrings.
Oh,
takes her earrings and puts them in her pocket. Oh well, then he cuts her shirt up and like creates a tourniquet for himself.
That's right. Yeah,
and he takes her earrings, or one of them. And so then after that, then we get the scene where she's hiding underneath the porch. But how did he get her to go around?
I think he's just like walking around the house, and she kind of figures out where it's safe to go.
Yeah, and so she times it or something, and he coming around, and she hides underneath the porch. He walks up on the porch, and he's looking in the glass, and then she looks up and like this with her breath, and you kind of think that he might know.
Yeah, and I think he does. I think he does figure it out.
So he goes away. Then she tries to run for it. Then the crossbow comes back out, and she chases him back in, and then
I think she gets hit. I think that's where she gets hit.
Not at this point. She makes it back in.
Are you sure?
And he just points a crossbow at her and walks away. Yep, and she's crying again. Then she goes upstairs. No. She's sitting on her stair. She's sitting on the stairs.
Yeah.
She's sitting on the stairs.
Yep.
Then she looks up. So then she goes upstairs to try to figure stuff, and she's watching him from upstairs for a little bit. Then she gets the idea. The window opens. So when he goes around the house, she opens the window. Sneaks out onto the roof, the tin roof of her porch, and throws the flashlight out in the woods. He chases that light. Then she starts crawling over to the other side, thinking that he got rid of her, or she got rid of him. Then she gets shot in the leg as she's climbing because it hits her in the leg.
Oh, yes.
But then he crawls up after her, and somehow she gets the crossbow from him.
Yeah, I can't.
They're like squabbling on that pillar, and she like kicks him off, and he falls. Oh, I think he's got the crossbow, and she grabs it and like kicks him or something. Then he falls.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now she's got that, so he's crawling up after her, all piss pants, and she gets back in the window or something.
Yeah, she's trying to pull the thing back, but she just can't quite get it.
Yeah, so she goes back inside, and because he comes up to the window, he's slamming on the window because she got it, and she runs down in the bathroom with this crossbow. She deals with her wound.
Well, one thing about that part that I didn't really like is that she like has the crossbow and she's like aiming at him as if it's gonna be a threat, but it's not loaded.
Yeah,
she's just like aiming at him. Like, why? What is that gonna do?
Yeah, I don't think she understood how those things work.
Yeah.
But So she's going in the bathroom now and trying to struggle to get this thing to work because she's gonna try to fight this guy with this thing.
Yeah.
And then a guy comes over. John Trucco.
John.
I don't remember. Yeah, what was his actor's name again?
Michael Trucco.
Yeah. John shows up.
Sarah's boyfriend.
Yep, and then Sarah's boyfriend, and then the man starts acting like a sheriff.
Yeah, he's like shining the flashlight so you can't really see him very well.
And they're having a conversation about what's going on. He's like, I'm a sheriff's deputy, and just barely at that. And so he
tells John that some guy came running out of the house and like sidelined him and knocked him out and whatever, took his gun.
Yeah, and you can see like the blood. And he's like, how'd you get that? Oh, yeah, he just nailed me. And John's figuring out that it's bullshit. And then it really happens when the earring falls out of the pocket.
Yeah, because
he uses John's phone to fake call the cops.
Yep.
And then when he puts a phone in his pocket to keep John from having a phone, but then he's like, "Can I have my phone back?" And when he pulls out, like that's when the earring falls out.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, he goes, "Hey, I think there's a key underneath this pot." And he grabs a rock, he's gonna bash him, you know. But at this point,
right when he's about to bash him
and end this movie, Maddie's slamming on the door, trying to warn him. He looks over at the window and then gets stabbed right in the jugular.
Yep, it's a nice shot of like John turns and you just out of the corner of the screen you see the knife like go right into his neck.
Yeah, and he's
like and pulls it out.
And so you get the blood spurt and pretty bad CG blood though.
Yeah,
but it could be worse. So then he's kind of like stumbling around and can't like get any and the killer's like, it's over, man.
It's done.
Over.
It's done.
I wasn't gonna beat you in a fight. This is, I'm lucky she showed up when she did, and he kind of falls over, but then with his last strength, he's able to tackle the guy and put a chokehold on me, and he's telling Maddie to run. So Maddie runs to the back door, and then what you get is she looks out the door, looks at the thing, and then she runs. So she's running for it, but then the man comes with this brick, nails her with the brick, and beats her head in with the brick.
It. But surprise,
that's not what happened. She's got a writer's mind. She knew that if she tried to run, this would happen.
Yeah, and
she can't run because her legs hurt.
Yep. Then we get a nice little comes back in Gerald's game, but you get the introspective narration. She's talking to herself, like you see her and
going through all the different things, like
scenarios.
She can't use the thing well. She can't do this, but she could do this. She can hide in these 3 places, but they all have windows. So all he needs is a rock to get in.
Yep.
This and this and that. This and this and that.
If you just hide, you're gonna bleed to death.
Yep. Which is the best case scenario, as opposed to him stabbing you to death or whatever. Then we get a scene of him stealing cigarettes off of John and talking to John, and then the cat comes back. And he's getting ready, he's got, you must be her cat, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're going to see her real soon. Well, she's going to see what's left of you when I stick you to the door. And he's getting ready to, kill this cat, then get shot with the crossbow.
Yeah. Well, no. So when she's going through all the scenarios, the final one is there's only one option. You have to kill him.
Yeah. You got to kill him. Yep. And so she shoots him with the crossbow. And he pulls it out, starts chasing after her. She's running, but drops the fucking bolt.
And when she's going back to get the bolt,
he slams the door on her hand.
Yes.
And then so her hand's stuck in the door, and she's laying on the floor in her house, but her hand's outside the door, and he starts stomping on her hand.
Oh.
Michael Flanagan doesn't like hands. He doesn't like them.
Yeah, he fucks that hand up. It's like
and
fingers are sideways.
She can't scream because her vocal cords don't work.
Yeah,
so it's just it's kind of crazy. She wants to scream but can't. So I wonder how that would feel if you were trying to scream but can't. I don't want to know, but there's an agony there that you can't relate to as a person.
Yeah, she portrays a deaf and mute person really well. It's very believable that she can't speak, I guess.
She gets her hand back though and locks the door, and he's like, he's thinking he's gonna let her lose some more blood because then he won't have to fight so hard with her. But at this point, she sits down and he's kind of berating her and whatever. And then she stands up and she just looks at him sternly. And he kind of then she stands up, dips her finger in her blood on her leg, and writes. He goes, "I'm coming in now."
Yeah.
And she writes on the window, "Do it."
Yeah.
Coward.
Yeah.
And calls him out, and she runs over to her computer, and he goes. Well, he had gotten a crowbar for it, so he's smashing.
This is my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Because she's
finally baited him. She's got him pissed.
Yeah, the music that goes on during this part is just like epic, and so it doesn't. It's basically goes to just music, like it to her perspective.
Yeah.
So you can't hear him bashing in the window.
Yeah.
But you've got the music, and she's like typing out his description.
Yep.
And then at the end, she writes like, "Love you, Mom, Dad, Max," and I
died fighting.
Yeah. And
so she closes her lap book, and he comes through the window. Oh no, he doesn't come through. She runs into the bathroom then, and she's got her knife, and she's just like she's losing consciousness because she's lost a lot of blood. So she's just sitting in the bathroom, and waiting for him to try to come through this door. She's just waiting.
Yep, and the camera is like on her face.
Yep, and then you see behind her glass pouring into the bathtub, but she can't hear it though.
Yeah,
and like he's coming behind,
and neither
her.
can you, neither can the audience.
Yeah, but it goes back to like giving us her perspective.
Yep.
And then he's behind her and he's talking to her. He goes, I wonder if there's a spot here, looking at her neck. I wonder if there's a spot here where I could make you scream. What he doesn't realize is that his breath, tickles the back of her neck, and she realizes it right at the last second. As he comes in to stab her, she turns with the blade and stabs him right in, where did she stab him?
I think in the leg.
Yeah, right in the leg. So then she runs out of the room and almost passes out in her kitchen. He finally gets the knife out of his leg, goes in the kitchen after her and calls her like a cunt or something.
Yeah.
And, they end up fighting a little bit more, and then it gets to a point where
he gets her down and is choking
her and like bashing her head. She's losing consciousness, but he had knocked off a corkscrew, and she was trying to reach it, and you don't hear anything again. You
kind
just
of hear
her heartbeat,
yeah,
and it's slowing down as he's choking her.
She's getting like flashes of her life going by, her family.
And with her like last bit of strength, she grabs a hold of that corkscrew and puts it right through his neck.
All the way
through. Then you get some more bad CG blood spray.
Yeah, she rips it out, and you get the spurts. And I'm wondering if it looked worse than it was because it was in ultra high definition.
It could be, but it wasn't a movie from last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the problem is CG blood never looks good.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
It's really offsetting.
If you make horror movies, do not use CGI blood.
Don't ever do it.
It does not look good.
Have you ever seen good CG blood?
No.
I think
never.
we might have once, and I can't remember what movie it was.
I mean, if it's good, you don't notice it.
That's probably the truth then.
Yeah.
So he rolls off of her. Her heartbeat comes back. She gets a phone, calls the cops, and then lays next to him.
Oh, we skipped the part where she sets the alarm off. She's sitting.
Yes.
That's how she kind of gets the
upper hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's sitting on the floor, and he's like, "I'm gonna do something or whatever," and then she sprays him in the face.
Oh, with the wasp killer. Yeah.
Sprays him in the eyes, and then puts the battery back in the smoke alarm, and he's just like, she basically takes his sensory abilities away from him, but he kind of overcomes that, and like she does other things too. So he's choking her. And she sticks her thumb or whatever into his cut, and he just grins and bears it. There's another thing I missed. When she's fucking with that crossbow, there's notches in it. So he's killed like 11 or 12 people.
13
people.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't count them. Yeah, okay. So like he notches this crossbow every time he kills somebody, which is okay. So this guy's been doing this. So she beats him. She smiles. And then this next scene is just of the house and the blinking light in there, and
yep, you see the blue police lights coming because she goes outside.
She comes outside, sits down. The cat sits next to her.
Yep.
And then the police come, and then you get like kind of a swell of sound, and it just goes blank.
Yep.
And that's the movie.
That's it.
That's a great movie.
Awesome movie. Yeah, it's probably close to second under Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I like that movie more than It Follows.
Well, It Follows was 2015.
Was it?
Yeah.
Damn it. What was the other one that comes out in 2016?
I don't know. But yeah, it's way, way up there on my list of great movies. I don't know if it would make my top 10 of all time.
It Follows was not 2015.
Was it 16?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. It was 2014.
Oh.
I did not realize it was that long
Wow.
ago.
Yeah.
But I will give that a straight up gold.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
and only because I don't want to willy-nilly give out platinums. It's a high gold. It gets the highest regard for me.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't really let up at all. I mean, you have that first few minutes of establishment, and then it's just all this
great pacing,
cat and mouse game.
Excellent movie. And what I like about it now, and God, I almost want to give it a platinum for this reason, is directed awesomely by Mike Flanagan.
Yeah,
but it's not only that though. It was written by him and Kate Siegel. So this is their story at the same time. So this is also an awesome story and a great directing ship. So it's just like, fuck, this is a great movie.
Yeah.
High gold.
I mean,
super high gold.
They nailed it. Like there's not a whole lot negative about it.
There's 2 bad CG blood parts, and they're not even that bad.
No.
I mean, the rest of the movie is so good, and those 2 scenes are like really late, like night. Well, I mean, most of the movie takes place at night, so it's noticeable probably because of the 4K and because it just looked weird, but
sure,
that's the worst part of it, and that's not that bad.
Yeah.
That blood spray is still better than Martyr's remake.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'd rather watch that blood spray scene on repeat as like a GIF for an hour and a half than ever watch Martyr's remake again.
Ugh. But yeah, I mean, the sound design is great just because, I mean, they really accent a lot of the noise because, I mean, they're trying to give you that perspective of like both contrasting her inability to hear and also like the sounds in the world that she doesn't hear, but you are hearing. I don't know if that makes any sense. But
I think Mike Flanagan's going to be like this generation's like John Carpenter and Cronenberg, maybe closer to like a Cronenberg. You know.
Well, I mean, he's obviously has a thing for hand damage,
and he's got good body horror stuff. I mean, like with the hand damage and stuff, that was all good.
The knife going into the neck and the corkscrew going into the neck.
I want to see more. I want to see Oculus. I like this guy a lot. Like,
let's do Oculus next week.
I'm putting him in upper echelon director, like as directors for horror. Like he's good.
Oh,
so far what I've seen from him, I like him.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I give it a gold. What do you give it?
Gold.
Yep.
Easy
gold for you, Mike.
All right. Get at us on Twitter at Scream Fiends. Let us know what you thought of Hush. If you've seen it, if you haven't, go see it. And then let us know what you thought of Hush. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Blah, blah, blah. 7voltmedia.com. You can catch all of our other shows that go on that our people do. Zero XP Podcast is the video game podcast. Even though we talk about a whole lot of video games on this show, but...
I can't believe we did another fucking episode on Dark Souls, dude.
I'm playing more, so we'll probably talk about it more. Freedom Anime and Professional Wrestling is the Anti-Seinfeld show. Anything else really going on besides those? Not really.
We do have something exciting coming up. If you've been following 7volt Media for a while and been listening to our shit, you might remember a certain role-playing game played. I wasn't part of 7volt at this point, but we are going to be bringing something back, and we'll let you figure it out.
Yes, very, very cool. Season 2, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is horror related. But yeah, that's all I'll say for now. It's gonna be great. And we have an idea for Scream Fiends, video game related, that we'll probably flesh it out a little bit more. But
see how it goes. But it might be, I think we might have a real neat possible interactive experience for you. We're gonna do every once in a while.
Yeah, it'll be cool. But yeah. I think that's about it. YouTube, iTunes, subscribe, please. Thank you. Patreon.com/ScreamFiends. If you like us, if you love us, you can donate if you would like. $1, $5, $10, whatever you would like, or nothing. we'll still love you.
Yeah. If you're not going to give us money, just comment. You don't even have to like anything. Just say, like, hey, you guys should do this movie.
Yeah. All right. From us at Scream Fiends, so long and farewell.